When Mike said he thought we might be able to do this, I was very excited because it gave me another opportunity to read with him. And the piece I wrote for Gloucester, actually, I intended to leave some space in it for him. And I could think of nothing else to read because it seems to me that it's basically from The Burden of Set, which several people have talked about. But it seems to me that I know of no piece of writing that has more relevance to where we are right now than this piece, which was written in 1963. So, Mike, give me some music. The hardest lesson I learned from Gerrit, and am still learning, is never to try to say too much. I'm going to read a few more or less random lines from The Burden of Set. The apocalyptic Gerrit, Marge said. He gestured toward something I've been trying to see for 50 years. Now the influx begins to be felt. Time to build the arcs, to nominate, proclaim the qualities. In the time of the breaking of strength, the burden, droning undersong, is to make the connections. The work of the renovating intelligence. Let me take that again. The work of the renovating intelligence. The emphasized characters of time. The work of the renovating intelligence. The gates of memory and intuition. History and magic open from a windowless event into time. Poetry falls on an age of undoing like nothing known before. And right measure and metric flow from the crystal of the moment. We are in a rough time, the most difficult transition age of all. We are in a rough time, where a kind of personal life is being exchanged for a kind of universal. European whiteness is sepulchre to us, and European consciousness a museum. It remains to be seen what cannot be permitted. Change in the heavenly female power as equality of sexes swings around. The biochemical basis of the differentiation is shifted. This doesn't mean that everyone will be queer, but that as a new magnetic center astrally rises in men and women, the scope of both amativeness and adhesiveness will be prodigiously enlarged. 10/9/99/7 BC. The negative afterimage of looking at the sun was man advancing bearing a water jar. 1963 AD. The negative afterimage of the vision of man poised in the electromagnetic currents of space is a roaring lion. It is still hard to distinguish the form of the lion who walks in flame. In 2009, Gerrit recalled himself as the young man who had written The Burden of Set, and went on to say, today, another eon, needful to note new conditions of writing, reception, and expression opened by the electromagnetic means, thence novel generations and coruscations of consciousness. The entire social and economic nexus of history and magic requires new phenomenologies, new configurations. He put writing in quotes. What was the new writing to be? Why didn't I just ask him? Why didn't I just ask him many things? He would not have answered my questions. He would not have answered my questions directly. I already knew if I did. Only I could find out. Then I added, since Gloucester, some of those lines that Pierre read from John Wayner's introduction. Complexity of perfection is found here. Simple, pure, and purposeful. These poems force us to this. Now I have to learn to carry them with me over the streets of the city and dismay the madness of a nation with their magic.